this video, I will be demonstrating visible grafting. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get a notice each time I go live or post a new video. A visible grafting method is a method of grafting without using Kitchener stitch. It can be easier to work because you can visibly see where your yarn needs to go. I've worked a swatch here with a provisional cast on in a contrasting color, and I worked just a few rows of stockinette stitch, and then I began my pattern in my main color. And then at the end, I worked a few rows in the contrasting color after my pattern, my last pattern row, and bound off in the contrasting color. So I'm going to be grafting the cast on edge to the bind off edge, but this can work for sock toes or anywhere where you are grafting a bind off edge to a bind off edge as well. You just work a few rows of stockinette stitch in a contrasting color after your last pattern row and bind off, and that's all there is to setting up for that. Now I'm going to get the edges that I'm wanting to graft next to each other, and I want to find the stitch, the first stitch on the right hand side, and I'm using another contrasting color thread to do this. You would be using your main color thread so that it would blend together, but I want to find that first column here and come up out of the center of that first stitch. And then on the upper piece, I want to find that first column again, and here's where the visible grafting can be such a big help. I'm going to basically follow the path of this orange thread to go over, around the two legs of that stitch. And now basically I'm following the orange threads. So the next orange thread comes here, back into the center of that stitch and out of the center of the next stitch. And then I find the next path around the two legs here. And so on. The reason this can be such a help is when we have a pattern like this that is not straight stockinette. It's a ribbing, basically. It's a cable pattern, but at this grafting edge, it's a ribbing. This visible grafting method can really help you to see where your grafting yarn needs to go in order to maintain that pattern. So as I get over to the purl stitches, so here's this stitch. Right. So out of the center here, I need to follow this orange yarn. So it comes out here and it goes into the center of this stitch from the front instead of from behind. So instead of doing this, I need to follow that orange yarn. So I'm following the orange yarn and the path that it takes. And then same up here. So that orange yarn comes here, and then it goes down here. And now this one, it comes in under the head of that stitch and then up out of this stitch. So we're now grafting purl stitches, right? And so it comes up out of this stitch and then down into that bump, and then we're transitioning from purls to knits, so in under the head of that one, and then following that orange yarn comes up out of the center of that stitch. Like so. So that's really all there is to it. You're following those contrasting color stitches. They're kind of a roadmap to tell you where to graft. So again, I'm following this stitch and this one comes here and then goes down here. And then down into there and up to there. And we can adjust the tension of this afterwards if we need to. And then at the end, when you are all done, you will cut away the contrasting color carefully and unpick it from the edges. And you don't have to work as many rows as I did here of it. I just wanted to have enough so that you could see what was going on. But that is basically how to work visible grafting, and it can be such a help in these stitch patterns that are not straight stockinette. That was visible grafting. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.